Start streaming. I guess I'm live. All right, I am live. I am young. I am youthful. Although with puffy eyes and bad hair. So shut up. Let me be Mercury for a while. So. Yes, I have been absent because I'm just crazy busy with work. My God. I've been working like literally almost 16 hours. Not even joking, just 16 hours. So, shut up. Stop making fun of my work ethics. All right, so let's get started. Can you guys hear me okay? I guess you can because you're laughing. All right. Let's go. So Mercury. Not the one that you get from eating fish, but the one that is up in the sky. So Mercury, what is Mercury? Mercury is Bhudha, buddhi, meaning analytical intelligence. Mercury is not true intelligence, that's Jupiter, as I explained. Mercury is analytical intelligence because of the fact Mercury represents education, books, learning. So whatever I learn from any one of these books, that's Mercury. What I learn from nature, what I learn from the divine, what I have brought into this life as a skill, that's Jupiter. Jupiter is saying this is something that universe has given you. You don't need to learn it. This is yours. But Mercury is like, let me teach you additional skills to operate on this planet. This is why Mercury represents learning and skills. What skill do you have? Do you have skills of sewing? Do you have skills of fixing something? Do you have skills of painting, sculpting? That's Mercury. Now, if we go back, let's go back into the system. So first of all, when it comes to people, Mercury represents your clients. Meaning, whatever business you do, your clients become Mercury. Because you're trading with them. Mercury's giving you money, you're giving them some service in return. So Mercury represents the people that come to you. Whether you're a psychologist, astrologer, you own a restaurant, you own a clothing store, you own a mechanic store, you have a car dealership. So whomever comes in says, I want your product. Here's the money. That's Mercury. You're not Mercury, they're Mercury. Then the exchange, the commerce that takes place is Mercury. So this is why Mercury is business and commerce. But when it comes to people also, Mercury represents aunts, uncles, maternal aunts and uncles. Maternal grandfather. Ketu is also maternal grandfather. Younger co-borns and friends. So Mars is a significator of co-borns, right? Mars is a karka. But Mercury only represents younger. So if you have a younger sibling, that's Mercury in your life. So study your Mercury to understand your younger sibling. Why? Because Mercury is friend. Younger sibling is usually like a friend, somebody who follows you around, somebody who wants to know what you're doing, somebody who looks up to you, and they want to be your friend, right? Like you want to get away from your younger sibling. You don't want to take them to hang out with your friends, but they want to hang out with you. They want to be your best friend. So this is why Mercury represents younger co-borns. And obviously everybody knows, in the basic astrological sense, that Mercury represents speech. Why speech and communication? Because Mercury is the significator of second house. So second house is speech, communication. Mercury obviously represents writing. Okay? Represents writing, marketing, networking. Because again, networking is an exchange of communication. Hey, how are you? What do you do? Okay, here's my business card. Call me if you need anything. Oh, this is your business card. I'll call you when I need you. That's networking. And this is why it's exchange of information. Information technology is Mercury plus Mars or Mercury plus Rahu. And education, like whatever you learn from grade 1 to all the way to your PhD is Mercury. It's not really Jupiter. Jupiter is more of a divine, higher intelligence. Like, I mean, it'll take you decades to get those PhDs. PhDs, remember, PhD, master's degree, bachelor's degree, all it is, you learn something that somebody else has learned and they're showing you this is how it's done, and okay, you go do it. Whether it's important or not for this universe doesn't matter. It's just your skill set in this plane of existence. But Jupiter is like, whatever you have learned, it's useless to me because what I will show you is something far, far higher. This is why Jupiter and Mercury are kind of like enemies. Because Mercury said, I have the skill set for Earth. Jupiter said, I have the skill set for the universe, multiverse. What you learn through me, it's very minute compared to what you learn through Mercury. But Mercury it's very important because again, whatever I am saying right now, whatever I am doing right now, communicating with you, it's Mercury. I have learned something. I have learned astrology as a skill. I'm sharing it with you, Mercury. So again, we can't just exist only with Jupiter unless I was alone. I need Mercury to interact. And obviously, Mercury represents hands, shoulders, so it represents skills of hands. So whatever, like I was saying, sculpting, writing, whatever you do with hands is Mercury. And Mercury represents intellectual conversation, speech, and talk. So whenever you exchange, like this is an intellectual conversation. This is not about what Kardashians are doing. This is not about what housewives of Orange County are doing. That's more gossip. That's the lower form of Mercury. This is the higher form of Mercury that we're exchanging information about our existence, about who we are, trying to know who we are. And Mercury represents philosophy as well. So Jupiter's philosophy, Mercury's philosophy, but Jupiter's philosophy of a spiritual kind. Mercury is a philosophy of practical kind. Like, okay, so what is God? Okay, so what is the reason why we go to work? Why do I have to get married? Why do we need children? Let's discuss that. Jupiter is like, this is God. This is what it exists. Let's talk about it. This is the reason why we are born. So Jupiter actually gives you all the answers that you are thinking, what is God? Well, this is God. What do you want to know? What else do you want to know? So that is a very higher form of philosophical discussion. And it's not more of a discussion, it's more of gathering the real information. But Mercurian people are still debating. God doesn't exist. I'm an atheist. I'm an agnostic. I'm a believer of God. Faith, religion, okay? I love medical practices. Meditation is useless. What is meditation? Show me a proof. See, whenever somebody says, show me a proof, show me a proof this exists, show me a proof that exists, that's just Mercury, because Mercury does not really know the higher form. It just knows how to operate in this world. So if someone says you can walk on water, Mercury's like, okay, show me. Jupiter's like, yes, of course you can walk on water. You need to have that siddhi, you need to have that higher blessings of God. And there's actually have been gurus who have walked on water. Then Mercury represents youth and childlike behavior, like me, how I'm in the morning. So Mercury represents like youthfulness. You know when somebody's like 45 and they're like, oh my God, you look 25. You look 20. That's a Mercurian face. And this is why Mercury also represents plastic surgery. Not plastic surgeon, that is Mars. Plastic surgery. Why? Because what is the reason behind plastic surgery? Is so you can look youthful. Get rid of your wrinkles. Facelifts. Anytime you do facelift, you do plastic surgery on your nose, you do plastic surgery on your eyes, your chin, you're wanting to look young and youthful. That's the whole purpose of it. You want to look beautiful and youthful. That is Mercury. So obviously beauty is Venus, but that youthfulness. Somebody can be 50 years old and they look beautiful with their wrinkles and with their bags. But then Mercury is more of that younger. Okay. And Mercury represents especially behavior of birds. Why? Because Mercury is a very Aryan energy, air. And birds fly in air. But why did I say Mercury represents the behavior of birds? That's because of the fact birds are never at one spot for too long. Most birds are getting something, going here, then going there, then going this, then flying there, then flying this. Always moving, always doing something. So Mercury is this like like ADD type personality. ADHD, going from one place to other, running around. Whenever somebody has that busy energy, it's Mercury, always keeping themselves busy. And this is why also Hasta Nakshatra occurs in the sign of Virgo, ruled by Mercury. People who just always keeps their hands busy doing something. Then Mercury in this day and age obviously represents text messaging, emails, social media interactions, and smartphones. Because again, Mercury is that quick interaction. Hey, what's up? What are you doing? LOL, OMG, ha ha ha. What I'm doing right now is more of Mercurian thing, like quick communication. This is not like a 1 week lesson on Mercury. This is not a 2 day seminar on Mercury. That's more of Jupiter and Saturn. I'm gonna give you the bigger knowledge, the great knowledge, and it's gonna take longer time. So Jupiter and Saturn, Jupiter Saturn person, if let's say Jupiter Saturn are in your ascendant, you're the type of person who is able to read like thick books, and you're able to just like grasp that knowledge. You have the patience, like, okay, I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna read this book it'll take me about 3 weeks to read this book. Where if this Mercury is in your ascendant, especially in an air like a bird, you're like skimming through the book. Okay, what is this? Okay, what is the information do I need to know for my test? That's it. But Jupiter Saturn person will be more like, all right, let me observe everything because it may be asked in the test. They'll learn everything. That's the true way of learning. Mercury just like, show me the skill that I can do right now. All right, what do you got? Oh, you're gonna teach me plumbing? Okay, tomorrow I can like start my business of plumbing. All right, here we go. So plumbing is Mercury, and then brain surgery is Jupiter. That's how dramatic they are. Then profession-wise, Mercury obviously represents writer, editor, speech therapist, information technologist with Mars. It represents an astrologer and astronomer especially astronomer with Rahu, because remember Rahu is astronomy. It represents obviously publishers, comedians, mimicker, any type of a skilled teacher. So let's say I'm a sculptor. Okay, I sculpt all these statues around the world, and now I have a lot of people who want to learn my tricks. How am I able to make such a quick, beautiful sculpture in such a quick time? So then I teach you the skill that, okay, you need this tool, and then this is how you're going to carve the chin, and this is how you're going to carve the shoulders quickly without wasting time. And so I am a skilled teacher. Now, if I'm teaching you spirituality, Bhagavad Gita, if I'm teaching you some ways of the Tao, even astrology, if I'm teaching you the true divine astrology, that's Jupiter. But if I'm teaching you something quick like transits, I'm teaching you about like this Mercury. Okay, what is Mercury? Da, 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 da. That's Mercury. That's a skill to know what Mercury is, but I'm not really showing you how it's working. When I show you how it's working, how it operates, where is it good, where is it bad, how do you see it in a divisional chart, what is a divisional chart? When you go into details of certain knowledge, that's Jupiter. So this is why Jupiter, Mercury, even though they are enemies, whenever they're together, absolutely, especially when Jupiter and Mercury are kendra from each other, trikon or conjunct, it aptly shows support to learn and be able to retain knowledge. Then when it comes to places, Mercury obviously represents library, even though they're decreasing, but anywhere books are there. So you can even call your digital, Kindle or Amazon Mercury, because Mercury, you do trade, right? Amazon.com is trade, and you buy books. That's how it started out as Amazon. It was all about books, and it represents community colleges, not universities. So in US, I'm sure many of you know, I don't know if it happens in India. India, we call college university, right? College. Oh, I'm going to college. That means you're going to some university. Here, when you say college in US, you're going to a community college, which is a smaller version of university. In there, you just are trying to complete like your prerequisites. You're completing like 200 units so you can transfer to a university, which is Jupiter. So in college, you have teachers. In university, you have professors. So that's and that's just based on the country system. So in US, college is a lower form of university. And obviously, this doesn't mean that you don't get the right education or you get a lower education. No, it's just that it's looked below because you're trying to go to university from a college. It represents anywhere where you play games, like a playground, theme park, sporting event, where skills are being performed. That's Mercury. Places where you do barter systems, exchanging of goods. You going to a mall for shopping. That's Mercury. That's a place of commerce. Grocery stores are Mercury. Post offices. Communication, exchange, sending letters and this and that. Any kind of a media room where there's a media, there's Mercury, because media wants that quick information. What's the headline? Let me put it up. Mercury obviously is a karaka of short travels. Like, let's say from my home I go to get coffee in the morning. That's Mercury. But if I go to New York, that's more of ninth house travel. Health-wise, it represents skin, nervous system. It represents hips, intestine, lungs, nose. And Mercury also is, diseases-wise, can represent ADHD or ADD, or even like autism, because it is the nervous system that is just caught havoc nervous system. It's out of sync. Then especially Mercury finds its directional strength in the ascendant. So there's a directional strength, Digbala, which is part of the Shadbala. And one thing I will always say, always keep saying, directional strength is more important than debilitation and exaltation. Remember that. So if you have a debilitated Mercury in Pisces in the ascendant, I would still say this person is extremely intelligent. Okay? Versus Mercury, let's say, being debilitated and being in the 4th house or being in the 5th house or 9th house. When I see a planet in its directional strength, it has that full capacity to go towards its direction, even though it may not have the most advanced map to get to its destination. Let's say it's just written on a napkin that you take this road, freeway 223 north, you go straight and you just exit at exit 63, and this is the exit. You make a right and that's where you'll find the building. Okay, so you don't have the GPS. You don't have somebody telling you, like exalted Mercury. But still, you have that direction where I am going. Sure, it may take me time. I have to see where that freeway is. I no longer hear the GPS. But having, no directional strength and exalted is like you have the GPS, but then you're diverted. You're like, oh, let me go to the mall first before I go here. Oh, let me stop by for some donuts and coffee before I go there. You're not focused on that direction. You're going to your direction. You got the best GPS, but you're doing other things at the same time. So always remember, so when you are so scared, oh, I have a debilitated Saturn and Mars and Venus, do they have directional strength? Look for that. So I rather have Venus debilitated in the 4th house than Venus exalted in the 8th house or 9th house. That shows me that the person has the direction. They are able to love. They're not distracted by other things. And obviously Mercury's color is green. So anything which is green. So let's say Mercury is in your 4th house in the sign of Virgo. Okay? Let's say it's even conjunct Venus. You're probably going to get a greenish color vehicle. Especially if, let's say, you're running through a Mercury Mahadasha, you will get a green color or mud green, you know, type vehicle. So that's how you can see. So if Mercury is in your 3rd house, you know, in its own sign of Gemini, Virgo, or just in the 3rd house, your communication device could be green. Like you can put a green cover on your cell phone. So this is what Mercury is in its own quickest form, you know, without using Jupiterian energy today. But still, wow. Still took me 20 minutes. I thought it was going to be much quicker. And today I might actually upload 3 videos because I know I need to catch up with. I bait this one. I will do the Navamsha video of Cancer Navamsha, and then Astrophilosophy Hour. Astrophilosophy Hour on subject of isolation and loneliness, and why isolation and loneliness is very addicting. So yeah, it's just one of those videos. I'm just gonna put it out. I'm just gonna throw it out. Okay. So okay. So all of you are talking about what happened to the planet through Nakshatra series. It's coming. Okay, it's gonna come. What's happening is I have this planet series going on, right? Because I said before I start Navamsha through planets, I'm gonna do Navamsha's ascendant, and I'm gonna show you what planet means. So when I go to Navamsha and talk about things, you know what to do. So once the planets are done, okay, so I think I have like 3 more planets to go, I believe. Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, if I'm not mistaken. That's once I do that, then I'll start on the Nakshatra series. I'm not going to tell you which planet, but it's coming. Of course, I'm not, you know, if I sound to get faster, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. All right? Forget about it. And shut up. So anyway, guys, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. If you want to know where your Mercury plays, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, all my astrological consultations and reports and books, check out the links in the description, astrologycares.com. And yes, I do have the new consultations on my website now, because all of you requested it. So I have the car reading, and I have the D1 to D9 one as well. All right, so anyway, we'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.